I don't remember which post this was specifically on fasting, but let me just talk about fasting in women. Um, there are only a few days out of every month where you should fast longer than 14 hours. If you are having a regular menstrual cycle, there are only a few days out of the month where you should fast for longer than 14 hours. Day 14, 15, 16, if you wanted to fast on day 14 and fast again on day 16, totally fine. Other than that, your fasting window shouldn't be longer than 14 hours, and you should definitely be eating when you get up. Now, if you're a postmenopausal female and you aren't having a regular cycle, that's basically what that means, you can get away with throwing in a 3-day fast or alternating day fast once a week, but my guess is it's also going to crash your metabolism. And here's why. Still, in females, your hormone cycle works over 28 days, not 24 hours. So unlike men who can fast for 20 hours a day and be very successful, we as women cannot, and we need to stop pretending like we can. And I know someone's going to come up in the comments and be like, fasting is good for you. I didn't say fasting was bad for you. I said stop skipping breakfast. And don't do a prolonged fast if it's not day 14, 15, or 16 of your menstrual cycle. But here's the other thing no one's going to tell you about fasting. If you want to get to autophagy, which is that stage where your body starts eating the cells that are not good for you, you have to make it to 17 hours. And most women can't get through that and stay in a healthy metabolic balance throughout their 28 days. So let's say that day 14, 15, 16, you decide to actually do a 72-hour fast because that would be ideal for you. If you want to reach all the benefits of fasting. And then for day 17, 18, and 19, you want to fast for 17 hours a day. Totally fine. But then your body is going back into a building phase where it's trying to essentially prepare your body for pregnancy. And if you're depleting it during that time, you're going to mess up your hormones. And yeah, I'm the same coach that says don't have your coffee until you've been awake for 2 hours and don't do it on an empty stomach. And here's why. Coffee has been shown in the literature, and I posted all the research with this in another post, so go find it. Coffee has been shown in the literature to raise cortisol by raising epinephrine when you drink it first thing in the morning. When you raise epinephrine, you release glucagon because your body goes into fight or flight. Glucagon is needed to release all that stored sugar from its storage places in your muscle and in your liver and send it into the blood. So then insulin gets released and then you crash. If you want to become a type 2 diabetic, drink your coffee on an empty stomach. If you want to fix your metabolism, start having at least 30 grams of protein within the first hour that you're awake and moving for 30 minutes. Start waiting until you've been awake for 2 hours to have your caffeine. And for God's sakes, stop starving yourself. And that can be overnutrition in the forms of like garbage calories, as much as it can be not enough calorie intake. So 3 meals with 30 grams of protein a day. You should have 6 ounces of vegetables with at least 2 of those meals and 4 ounces with another one. And then 4 ounces of fruit twice a day. Just try it. Try it for 6 weeks and tell me how it goes. Because what my clients tell me is that they lose weight, they have more energy, they have more regular bowel movements, and they don't feel so depleted all the time. Start working with your hormones instead of against your hormones. The other thing I'll tell you, which no one really thinks about, even as a female, your testosterone is higher in the morning. Testosterone makes your cells more insulin sensitive. Your testosterone is lower in the evening, which means your cells are less insulin sensitive. So if you're fasting and not eating until like 8 o'clock at night, your cells aren't as sensitive to insulin, which means you're going to end up with more free blood sugar. Again, type 2 diabetes. And this isn't universally true for everyone. There is something called the clock gene, which determines whether or not you should be a morning exerciser or an evening exerciser. But I bet you'd be surprised how many people this actually does apply to. And again, like I said in the other video, if you're somebody who's like, I don't wake up and I'm not hungry until like noon, which is like 6 hours after I wake up. Honest to goodness, the night before you go to bed, take a digestive enzyme. Start just doing that. But when you wake up tomorrow morning, do yourself a favor. On an empty stomach, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda in 4 ounces of water. Drink it like it's a shot. Time how long it takes you to burp. If you get past 2.5 minutes, you have low stomach acid, which means your stomach is not going to be ready for food first thing in the morning. And we need to fix that because that leads to poor gut bacteria. It leads to other health conditions, and it can lead to hormone imbalance and thyroid dysfunction. So let's fix it. And by the way, if you take that test and get past 5 minutes, you have an issue that's big. And if somebody tested you for H. pylori, it'd probably come back positive. And then if you're one of those people who's like, I take thyroid meds, I can't eat first thing in the morning. You can take thyroid meds at night. They just need to be a couple hours separate from food. And if you're fasting at night, not going to be a problem to take them when you go to bed. I hope this helps.